Keep curious. JustProfessor here. You build something mediocre with your own hands, and suddenly you think it's worth way more than it actually is. You spend hours on a project that looks terrible, but you can't throw it away because you made it. Your brain is tricking you into overvaluing things just because you put effort into them, and it's filling your life with expensive garbage. Imagine you buy a bookshelf from IKEA. You spend 2 hours struggling with confusing instructions, fighting with parts that don't quite fit, questioning your life choices. Finally, it's done. It's wobbly, slightly crooked, and honestly, pretty ugly. But you love it. You're weirdly proud of it. You wouldn't sell it for double what you paid. This is the IKEA effect. The moment you put effort into creating something, your brain decides it's way more valuable than identical things you didn't make. And this bias is making you waste money, keep things you should throw away, and overvalue your own work while undervaluing everyone else's. The IKEA effect is when you place disproportionately high value on things you partially created, even when the result is objectively worse than what you could buy. The effort you invested makes you overvalue the outcome. A poorly assembled bookshelf feels more valuable than a professionally made one because you built it yourself. A mediocre meal you cooked feels better than a restaurant meal because you made it. A drawing you created seems more impressive than a similar drawing someone else made. This happens because humans have a deep psychological connection between effort and value. When you work on something, you invest time and energy. Your brain doesn't want that investment to be wasted, so it inflates the value of what you created to justify the effort. Also, creating something makes you feel ownership and pride, which adds emotional value on top of objective value. You're not judging the thing fairly. You're judging it through the filter of your own effort and attachment. The problem is, this makes you keep things you shouldn't keep, spend money on things that aren't worth it, and overestimate the value of your own work. You hold on to DIY projects that look terrible because you invested time in them. You think your handmade gifts are worth more than they are. You price your own work too high because you're factoring in effort instead of just market value. The IKEA effect is distorting your judgment about value constantly. Let me show you where this causes problems. Home improvement is full of IKEA effect disasters. You decide to build or fix something yourself instead of hiring professionals. You spend days on it. The result is honestly pretty bad. Crooked, poorly finished, not quite right. But you love it because you made it. You tell everyone about your project. You think you created something valuable when actually you created something that decreased your home's value. The effort made you blind to the poor quality. Hobbies and crafts show this constantly. You make something, pottery, painting, knitting, whatever. Objectively, it's beginner quality. But to you, it seems amazing because you put hours into it. You want to display it prominently. You consider selling your crafts. You're offended when people don't appreciate them as much as you do. The IKEA effect makes you overvalue your amateur work. Business owners fall into this trap hard. You build a business from scratch. You invest years of your life into it. Your brain tells you it's incredibly valuable because of all that effort. So when someone offers to buy it, you think their offer is insultingly low. But actually, they're judging based on objective value, revenue, profit, assets. You're judging based on effort invested, which buyers don't care about. The IKEA effect makes you overprice your business. Content creators experience this painfully. You spend hours making a video or writing an article. You think it's great because you put so much work into it. But viewers and readers judge purely on quality and entertainment value. They don't know or care how much effort you invested. So you're confused and hurt when something you worked hard on gets ignored while someone else's quick project goes viral. The IKEA effect made you overvalue your effort. Cooking and baking demonstrate this perfectly. You spend hours making a complicated dish. It comes out okay, but honestly not as good as what you could order from a restaurant. But you think it's amazing because you made it. You're proud of it. Your family has to pretend it's better than it is because you're so invested. The effort created an illusion of quality. Customization and personalization trigger the IKEA effect even when effort is minimal. You design your own shoes online or customize a product. The customization takes 5 minutes, but you immediately value that product more than the standard version, even though objectively it might be worse. Just the act of choosing and creating makes it feel more valuable. Investing time makes you hold on to things too long. You spent hours researching and buying something. It's not working out. You should cut your losses and move on. But you can't because you invested all that time. The IKEA effect makes you hold on to failing investments, bad purchases, and wrong decisions just because you put effort in. Children's artwork is peak IKEA effect. Your kid makes a drawing that's honestly just scribbles, but you think it's beautiful. You save it forever. You might even frame it. The emotional investment creates value that isn't really there. Every parent's house is full of artwork they overvalue because of IKEA effect. So how do you fight the IKEA effect? How do you value things fairly instead of overvaluing them just because you made them? First, get outside opinions. Ask someone who didn't work on the project to honestly assess it. They don't have the effort investment clouding their judgment. They'll see the quality more objectively. Their assessment might hurt, but it's more accurate than yours. Second, compare to professional alternatives. If you built something, look at what professionals charge for similar items. If your handmade thing is objectively worse quality, it's worth less, regardless of how much time you invested. Effort doesn't create value. Quality creates value. Third, remember that buyers don't care about your effort. When pricing your work or deciding what something is worth, only market value matters. Nobody will pay extra because you worked hard. They pay for results and quality. Your effort is your problem, not theirs. Fourth, wait before judging your own work. The IKEA effect is strongest right after you finish something. Give it time. Come back later with fresh eyes. You'll see flaws you were blind to when you were invested in the creation process. Fifth, be willing to throw away or redo bad work. Just because you invested time doesn't mean you have to keep the result. If something turned out poorly, the time is already spent. Keeping bad work doesn't get that time back. You're just cluttering your life with evidence of wasted effort. Sixth, separate sentimental value from actual value. It's fine to keep something because you made it and it means something to you emotionally, but don't confuse that with actual monetary or functional value. Your handmade bookshelf can be special to you without being objectively valuable. The IKEA effect is making you overvalue everything you create or invest effort in. Your mediocre DIY projects seem great to you. Your amateur crafts seem impressive. Your business seems worth more than it is. Your cooking seems better than it tastes. All because you put work into them and your brain doesn't want that work to feel wasted. This isn't about crushing your pride or killing your hobbies. It's about seeing clearly so you make good decisions. When you're deciding whether to keep something, sell something, or redo something, you need to judge based on objective quality and value, not based on how much effort you invested. Understanding the IKEA effect helps you recognize when you're overvaluing your own work. It helps you take criticism less personally because you realize your judgment is biased by effort investment. It helps you let go of things that didn't turn out well instead of keeping them just because you made them. The next time you finish making something and you think it's amazing, pause and question that judgment. Are you assessing quality fairly, or is the IKEA effect making you overvalue it because of your effort? Ask others. Compare to alternatives. Be honest about whether the result is actually good or if you're just proud because you made it. Your effort has value. It taught you skills, kept you busy, gave you satisfaction. But effort alone doesn't make the results valuable. Don't confuse the value of the process with the value of the product. That's how you end up with a house full of mediocre handmade things you're too attached to throw away. Watch the next video to discover another bias making you misjudge value and waste money.